Feature Friday.
The freshest.
This has been a video that's been requested a lot lately from Dimash.
Yeah.
And we thought we'd check it out today because, well, you know, it's not like I'm some sort of vocal expert or anything, but I do have the privilege of having someone like that at home who really studies singing and stuff. So I'm actually looking forward to like understanding some of this stuff, right? And also being able to, because he's one of the few individuals that, even though he's so technical, for dummies like me, I can still enjoy it.
Oh, definitely.
And then I can focus on things that I understand, like by being in stage myself and performing. But like when he gets really technical and stuff like that, I do get lost a bit. That's why I really enjoy it every time I watch the match to have you here.
Well, it's always my pleasure to sit down here and watch him. I think he is such an outstanding human.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could possibly describe what
Really
he
is.
does.
It really is.
So this is him slaying, all
Every
this
register.
Ranges that for one person are literally unheard of. And he just does them.
Go on, man.
So here we go. So vocal fry. A1. Holy crap, that's low.
So it's like an ogre.
That is just ridiculous.
Oh, sick! Look at that.
Oh my god, what was that? What performance?
Yeah, what performance was that, if anyone knows?
Yeah. That is crazy. Because that's D2. So the number stands for...
I know that, mate.
You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on.
What I don't understand is how difficult it is.
Efra, I'm talking about the first scale. It's like the first octave. That's how nobody reaches the first octave unless you're like freaking super bass.
Well, because there are people who just focus on
the lower range of stuff. Yeah,
but even them.
Yeah, of course,
Right.
there are singers that
But
can
not
do
people
it.
that have such a huge range.
What's impressive in this
Like a baritone
scenario,
wouldn't be able to do. Is that what you call it, baritone?
Yeah,
Would they be
baritone.
able to do like way low, and also be able to do super high?
No, not super high. No,
Just really low.
they would focus on the basses, and
So they would be able to replicate this.
if they have that range. But I think there's a natural predisposition in singers
Right.
when it comes to this type of exercises.
To go, so let me remind my knowledge here. Goes baritone, right?
Yeah.
Soprano,
No, tenor.
tenor,
Then alto.
alto,
Then is mezzo
mezzo,
soprano,
mezzo soprano,
and a soprano.
and then soprano.
Yeah.
Mezzo and
So
soprano
altos,
is the highest.
yeah, altos, mezzos, and sopranos are usually female ranges.
Oh really?
Hmm.
I'm gonna prove everyone wrong. I'm gonna become the world's greatest.
He's already done it.
Yeah, no, mate. Unlucky.
Well, he's already done it.
Go on, keep going. Unlucky, Efra.
That's crazy. It's just how comfy he is down there.
Yeah, that was in Singer.
Okay, chillin'. G2. Holy guacamole.
Solid.
But see, that was a G sharp second, like there was a G sharp, and the note before was just a G major, which there's only like a slight little difference, but the brightness in the tonality, is like the modulation and how he sang both of those notes was a totally different setting.
Right.
That's what I find so interesting about him, because if he could access any of those notes, I would think it was in a predetermined type of like classical setting, but he just proved in the last video that he can do it in a pop setting too.
Yes.
Which is mad. That is just unheard of.
Well, that is what we've enjoyed a lot about him, isn't it? That he's able to merge such different ways and manners of singing and styles of music
It's
into
mad.
one.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. setting, like lighter, and yet he reaches the B flat 12. The second. I mean two.
That's a good song.
How comfortable is he? Ooh, nice.
I enjoy more of this type of tones rather than the really high ones.
Yeah. A chesty mixed voice. I love those. Which I think that's where his natural range is at.
Right.
This tonality. More of a tenor, natural tenor.
What the hell? It's like a virtual thing.
Yeah.
It's like an
How
epic
epic
movie.
is he?
See, I really enjoy this.
This is already hard for normal singers.
But you remember that? That was good.
That was crazy.
It's younger there. Oh, I want to know what that was.
It's like a belty stuff.
Thanks.
But you know how hard is it? It's already hard to be in the on a 4. And he's on 8. B. Woo! So now we're getting into a mixed setting, falsetto-ish.
This is what most people find impressive, right?
Because he's doing it from a belt setting.
That's a joke. I love that.
That's ridiculous. Listen.
I want to know that performance.
Sopranos have a hard time doing this type of setting.
Yeah.
Because it's a mix between a belt and what people call head voice, which is basically it, kind of going into that classical opera-ish idea, and it's so difficult to get. And put on top of that, the notes and the composition as they're placed in the compositions, they're already super challenging for a soprano. Imagine a guy that you never, ever,
Right.
never, ever.
Very, very interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it's crazy.
I love that performance. It's like confetti or something. Damn.
My God.
I mean, do you want to breathe, mate?
This is an E5.
We've seen this. It's a joke.
F5. Holy guacamole, man. Yeah, that's worthy of a standing ovation. Jesus. Get out of here!
Jesus. That's so impressive.
His larynx were like here. They didn't shift up. No, they were up here.
They
Freaking
moved.
hell.
They went for a walk in the park.
What?
Jesus.
God. Couldn't ever dream of getting those notes. Ever.
For that length. What the fuck? Oh, interesting.
Woo! See, the
Weird
compositions
Melissa
are
mash
so
there.
hard. The compositions and the arrangements are so crazy. You can never dream. You can never dream of trying to tackle those things.
My question is, right? In a live show, right? Say it's this concert, so maybe say, I don't know, an hour and a half long, 2 hours long. When does fatigue set in? Like, does fatigue become irrelevant because it's technically sound?
Yes.
But
physically wise, fatigue is there literally 30 minutes after.
But like, how
start
fatiguing
singing.
is that? Like, for example, doing what he just done, right?
Exhausting, because it's a whole body. It relies on the whole of your back muscles, your diaphragm, all of your tummy muscles in the front. Even sometimes, depending on how hard it is, like how relaxed or how tense your legs are, have an impact on how you might actually hit a note.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So the coaches usually would encourage, relaxation on the lower part of your body, so you have access to a bigger pocket of air. So you release the frontal of the tummy, like all the tummy muscles would be totally relaxed and released, so they can function properly, and all the effort would fall on the back muscles, the neck anchoring, the everything that has to do with the jaw, the larynx itself.
So because singing relies so heavily on breathing, relaxation is a must.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's actually encouraged throughout the whole of the performance. So therefore is a whole workout, because you include a lot of muscles that you wouldn't think they're involved in the singing, and especially in the type of performances he is doing, that they are so vocally demanding.
Well, because people go to watch that, don't they? So
Absolutely.
My question is, like, how often can he do that? Like, could he do a show tonight and then do a show tomorrow and then do a
Probably,
show?
I would say, yeah, combined with the right amount of rest, I think he probably has a very durable and sustainable career because of how well he understands his technique.
Well, and he's very technical too.
Yeah.
He's got a huge
I think
background.
he would be the type of person in my ideals that would also take really seriously the cool down,
warming up and cool down and stuff.
The rest period would be absolutely critical.
Where he doesn't speak.
Yes,
right.
and the steaming, the relaxation of the larynx itself, the going back to the normal default setting of your natural larynx, because after singing high notes and belting or singing classical pieces, you have to reset your larynx to what they naturally fall at, and there are certain exercises to do that cool down effect that you have to really take care of. So
it would be interesting then to watch his routine before,
absolutely,
prior to a show and then after a show.
I would totally be into that, because
if anyone knows anything like that or any video like that, we would love to check it out.
Netflix just needs to drop like a documentary on
him.
Dimash.
Well, it's definitely big enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you guys like us to do a Dimash podcast special?
Oh my god, that's the greatest idea you've ever come up with.
Yeah, how cool would that be? We sort
absolutely
of take our time with some of his music, break stuff, and have these sort of conversations, and yeah.
Yeah, let us know if you're into that. Let's finish this video. B flat 5. Look at that hair.
It looks so old school there.
Okay, so here we go with what a true soprano would be in. This is out of my leagues by miles. I could never.
This is that angelical stuff.
Yeah. So, but this is a hard mix. And
What
then you got
the-
little whistle notes happening.
Dos séptimas. Jesus.
That's a C sharp. That's a C sharp on a sig. Well, D. And why not? E. You
That's not the
said
same performance.
E flat. Did you see how high his soft palate was? Like the roof of his mouth? Can you see how high it was?
When does he breathe?
Never.
Jesus Christ.
Never.
He'll be good at swimming.
Probably like
Holding your breath.
holding your breath.
Holding your breath competition for a pizza.
The ones that you always used to lose.
Yeah, I'd love to challenge him.
This performance was incredible. This was gorgeous.
What the hell? How does that come out of your mouth? That's sick. Oh, we're seeing this, haven't we?
Whistle notes, here we go. E7 to D8.
What the hell? That's like a bird, mate.
That was a G7.
It's like a beetle. Oh my gosh, what the hell? Jesus Christ. Not gonna lie, that is nuts. How does a human make that noise with his mouth?
His breath control is like impeccable.
Because it goes right from doing something else and then bam.
Yeah, his breath control is like crazy.
Then bam and then back to normal. Then bam, back to it again.
I don't get it. People struggle. Those singers that in the market, in the industry, that can master whistle notes, right? They have a hard time reproducing that in like live settings because they're so demanding, and there is such a fickle setting in your vocal folds.
Unstable.
Yeah, it's very unstable because a little
Bit too much
more
air, is that what
air
you said?
and
Yeah.
then it is gone. It's totally lost there. You're making no noise whatsoever. And it's also very hard to get there to that type of setting in a flick of a switch. In his case, that is not even like...
He does it better when he's alive.
Absolutely. How? God knows.
Impressive.
He's incredibly gifted. When people, there's that question. There's always that question. Is it natural predisposition or is it
Acquired.
acquired?
Skill or ability, yes.
Yeah, I think in his case, is both. He was definitely.
But that's what the
gifted.
answer is usually, isn't it?
Well, it's not. There's always that argument.
No, but
I'm a strong believer of the argument that you can work your way to talent.
Right.
Like, strongly believe that.
But that's just scientifically not true.
Yeah, but I've seen it. I've seen it. How do you prove that? Tell me your science facts. Maybe I'm a strong believer that hard work and dedication and a milkshake.
No,
I don't know.
Absolutely, but
And a magic potion, but
yeah, but
you will never be Dimash.
But
ever.
natural predisposition, it's a thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Both in
absolutely.
sports, music.
I totally agree with that too.
So my point is the answer lays somewhere in the middle.
Oh yes. Yeah.
It's not one way or the other.
No. But I think you can really do.
Because he wouldn't have that talent if he didn't nurture it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He would have had the potential.
Yes, that's all right.
Right, but he had to nurture it to reach this level. However, maybe his potential is even greater, so he hasn't even reached his max yet. But you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, totally. I understand, but I think it's also a very healthy way of thinking. that you can work your way through talent.
No, absolutely.
Like, because there's always that, there's always that like taboo thing
What taboo thing?
when you're growing up, in the industry. Like, oh, that person's just naturally talented, that they're just naturally gifted.
Yeah, this is what I
And
say
then-
to that bollocks.
And then you'd be like, but you can also work your way through that. And I think that's the healthiest way of
No,
approaching
but-
that type of mindset.
No, this is what I think is the healthiest way of approaching
What
that
is?
mentality. Just because you're not the most talented
Mm.
doesn't mean you can't be a force to be reckoned with in the industry.
There you go.
And there's plenty of examples of that.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, talent isn't a guarantee for success. That's a tougher doctrine. That's a tougher doctrine and mentality to get
break
past
through. Yeah.
than
Absolutely, I agree.
hard work does get you to success. Because a necessary requirement for success is hard work, whether you're untalented or talented.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
So yeah, but
How do you approach that?
what approach? What?
By knowing that talent isn't the key to success.
Hey, it's rough.
Stuff.
Hey.
That's the real stuff right
No,
there.
I think reality and the
Which
industry.
is fail.
Yeah, I think reality and the industry, harsh, crude
Raw.
reality
Yeah.
would usually fix that
Harden
issue,
you up, yeah.
or soften you up and you give up.
Yeah. You got options in life.
Yeah.
You got options.
You know.
Out there, just stay strong. Build a thick skin. Push through. With a magic potion and hard work and dedication.
And consistency.
Yeah, you go. There
No,
you
no,
go.
but it's true.
This was fire.
It is true. But yeah, let us know if you'd like us to do like a podcast.
Dimash special podcast.
Because then we don't feel like there's a time constraint. We sort of can
Absolutely.
dwell
We
on
just
these conversations.
carry on talking like this for sophisticated type of conversations. For a change in the channel.
Yeah.